Good evening and welcome to a Mitch'nandMauck'n about the Cardinals Holiday Edition. I am Mitchell, and joining me, he is the owner and proprietor of the Superstition Ranch, where we're open Christmas Day. Where we
Yeah,
are open Christmas Day. He is the mouth of the West, Tyrell Mock.
what it
Tyrell,
is.
happy holidays, merry everything, as they say in Bluey.
Yeah. We're watching that right now. So, Merry everything. How's everybody doing? Missed you. How you been, man?
Doing well. It's Christmas break. Got a full 2 weeks plus off from the school district. Pretty excited. We talked this morning like, hey, let's do a Christmas show. Everybody else does a Christmas show. Let's do a Christmas show. Not a whole
Absolutely.
lot of news, but there is a couple things we're going to hit on tonight, and then we're just going to kind of riff. Kind of whatever comes on our mind, which it could go either way at
Yeah.
this point. But
Yeah.
let's start
Yes.
with the biggest Cardinal news. Wilson Contreras traded the other day to, surprise, surprise, the Boston Red Sox in a deal sending back Hunter Dobbins and right-handed pitching prospects. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Yaker Fajero and Blake Aida. Dobbins, of course, the biggest name coming back to the Cardinals, 4-1 with a 4.13 ERA and a 1.28 WHIP. That's really solid, especially for a 26-year-old. The problem is he's coming off an ACL injury. The Cardinals also sending $8 million to Beantown. Tyrell is stripping it down completely at this point.
Yeah, like we talked, this is a 90 loss team now. Like I had in my brain, like, okay, we're gonna go through this kind of semi rebuild mode, kind of like they've been doing, going to stay a little quasi competitive. So I thought, if you have a couple of the young guys hit well, you're probably a third place team. I can deal with that. That's fine. But now this Contreras news, they have no thought process of even competing now. So this is a 90 loss team. It's going to be a bloodbath this year.
You brought up the point, if this guy were to hit, if this guy were to hit. Ifs and hopes are kind of how Mo ran the last 2 years. They are just kind of giving up every single valuable piece that anybody else could want. Today is December 23rd, so happy Festivus out there. Brendan Donovan's still a Cardinal. He's probably the biggest name left. When we talked on the phone this morning, kind of setting up the show, you still think he's going to Seattle?
I think he's going to Seattle because I think the better package to come back to the Cardinals, and I think that's what Heim is. Or yeah. It sounds so weird to say that name now. For so long we said Mo, and I think that's what Heim's looking for is more depth for the down in the minors. So I think that's what he's going for, and they've got the better package to bring to the Cardinals.
Seattle's got some great young pitchers. Miller. Ooh, I mean, there's some attractive guys there, but are they willing to part with those for a Brendan Donovan who can play everywhere but catch for the most part? And if you're the Cardinals, what are you gonna do? We're talking this morning. The field's open right now. According to Derek Gould, Burleson's gonna play first base. Second's a question mark. Essentially outside of shortstop and Mason Wynn and Victor Scott patrolling center, everything's open right now.
I think that's what they want. I think they want these young guys to feast or famine. Like I think the spring training is legitimately going to be an open competition for every position, and they're going to let the guys in the minors come up and try to win those positions. I think it's going to be a full on. Let's see what we have and where are we going with this franchise.
Heim Bloom says the Cardinals didn't give Herrera a great, kind of opportunity to learn how to catch. So he's going back behind the plate, leaving left field open. DH is open, right field, second base. Yikes. Something you said when we were on the phone this morning. I'm not sure they can find a buyer for Nolan Arenado at this point. His contract's huge. He can't hit my weight. I'm rolling in about 235 these days. The fact of it is, they're going to have to eat more money than they're probably comfortable with just to get rid of him. Does he have a buyer at this point? Are people still waiting on Alex Bregman to sign? Or are we just going to have to watch the downfall of Nolan Arenado for another season?
You're going to watch the downfall of Nolan Arenado for another season. I don't think they could. The Bregman thing that was last year, and they didn't. Nothing worked out for him, and you knew it wasn't going to because everybody saw the writing on the wall. So I think we're going to watch the downturn sadly. But I think the only cool thing that I can hope that comes from this is, how that Cardinals have had that streak of having a Hall of Famer on the roster since like the beginning of the franchise, pretty much. Nando is legit, probably defensive, in the Hall of Fame type of guy. So if that develops, we could continue that streak on a little bit longer. And I think that's kind of a cool thing to keep. But they've already spent 20, they sent 20 million with Sonny, they sent 8 million with Wilson. You send that what, another 20, 30, like that's pretty much your payroll there. So I don't think they're gonna do it. And I don't think there's gonna be anybody short of an injury to the Dodgers late in the year that they would go for Nado.
And it's sad. He, like you said, I do believe he's a Hall of Famer. Probably not a first ballot guy, but he can't hit anymore. The glove no longer plays like it did even 2 or 3 years ago. Your best prospect in JJ Weatherall is probably a third baseman, and I think you run JJ out there 150 games this year, 500 at bats, and see what happens. In a year, like you said, you're probably going to go ahead and lose 90 games anyway. We were looking at the rotation, and Matthew Liberatore is probably your opening day starter against Tampa Bay at home, and that's oof,
I mean, he's
oof.
pitched great against the Rays, though. So I mean, he's got that going for him.
Do you think the opening day streak of sellouts ends this year?
Yes. Yeah. I think short of somebody doing some miraculous stuff, like some Albert Pujols type crap in the spring training, I don't think you're selling this out anymore. What do we have? 2.7 last year? 2.3?
2.3.
Yeah, you're not selling that out.
To Chaim Bloom's credit, he's being more transparent than Mo ever dreamed of being. He said, "This is what we're doing. We're going after young, cost-controlled arms. We're still looking for veteran leadership in the bullpen. We're looking for a right-handed bat." So he's transparent at least. We knew it was going to get ugly, but how ugly? Do they lose 100 games? Oh, we do have a text from the text line. Mandy from Columbia says, no, people will still want to go see the Horsies on opening day.
Hey, here you go. I'm repping them tonight. So yeah,
Tyrell repping
the Clydesdale.
thank you
So
for that on the text line.
Hey, it is a cool tradition to see. So I got to agree with her. I will always watch opening day because it's one of the coolest things in baseball to watch this Clydesdales and all the guys come out on the Ford F-150. So, I mean, she's right, but it ain't going to sell out.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to get Netflix again after I drop it from watching Stranger Things to watch opening day on the MLB
Yep.
because
But
it's
are they going to have it on that one? Are you sure it's not going to be on the Fox one or the Prime Video? I mean, that's going to be let's just go back to cable.
yeah. I mean we're probably at the end of the streaming service wars, especially when you look at was it Netflix who just bought HBO?
Yeah. Yeah. Warner Brothers. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Warner Brothers just bought
Yeah.
HBO.
Yeah.
I mean now
Yeah, Netflix. Yeah, it's over with, dude. Like they just one big conglomeration now.
they now own essentially the DC licensing. They own, and we're off topic, but it's Christmas, so we just thought we'd talk for a little bit. They now have purchased all of the Harry Potter licensing, all of the DC model. And the reason I saw for that was because we're about 2 years away from studios just pumping out AI content as far as like, we'll get a new Batman movie every year. We'll get a new Harry Potter TV series every 6 months because of what AI can do now.
It's just going to evolve so fast. And I mean, these companies have already. That's why they're buying each other up because they want their AI tool to fix with this, and it's just you're going to have the Netflix
Disney, probably
and
Disney,
Disney. That's what you're going to have. Yeah.
because
And
whatever
Prime Video is
Netflix,
going to be in there somewhere. It's going to be kind of a little bit since they own MGM, so they're going to be a little bit right there in the middle, like that uh stepchild.
they're gonna become the Kmart of it all.
There you go. That's a good analogy right there.
Amazon's a big enough company, and they've made plays for Disney before, where they could probably scoop them up again.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
mean,
could see
Disney's a
that.
400 million dollar company. Amazon's $1 billion company. Amazon could buy and sell anything they wanted. And I see you in the next, before probably the end of the decade, them trying again for the hostile takeover of the Walt Disney Company again for the content and the licensing.
That's all it's for, yeah. And probably a little bit of the patent.
Yeah, I mean, and you can combine those things all together, and those will probably be two, if not maybe like you said, three of the streaming services left standing. Do you remember during COVID, everybody had a streaming service? I think Hallmark had one. Like there's this one called Friendly now. There's probably 20 to 30 streaming services. Now I think we're probably down to 7 to 10.
Yeah, yeah. And what was that network that was gonna come out that had like 15-minute movies? Quibi?
Oh,
Something like that? That was supposed to
yes.
be a big, yeah.
It never really got off the ground.
Yeah, yeah, that was supposed to be big in 2022. Wow, the things you forget.
That happens when you get old.
Yeah, I wish I could forget 2020.
That was a rough year. Hey, but we did have one more piece of news. You live in the state of Missouri. Yesterday came out the Kansas City Chiefs are packing up their game and heading out west to beautiful Olathe, Kansas. If you've ever been to Olathe, Kansas, it is far from beautiful. The Missouri lawmakers came out, Governor Kehoe, and we try to keep the Chiefs. Quinn Lucas, who is the mayor of Kansas City, we offered a package. I went through all 31 pages of the agreement between the Chiefs and Olathe. The Chiefs are getting that deal for free, Tyrell,
Wow.
essentially. The
What?
state of Kansas will own the stadium. The Chiefs are going to pay $7 million lease agreement on that. However, the lease agreement is a trust that the Chiefs can use for renovations, maintenance, and things like paying the food service workers, the beer vendors, operations budget, essentially.
'Kay.
They can use their own rent money to run this thing. They control every dime that goes in and out of that place. Every piece of profit goes to them. The concerts, the Final Fours that was so big to Clark Hunt when he was trying to recruit, back and forth. The games, the Super Bowls, all of that, all going in his pocket. And he's already the second richest owner in the NFL behind Jerry Jones. Guy who's born with a silver spoon in his mouth. Use the baseball analogy. He was definitely born on third and thinks he hit a triple. And they are, if you've ever been to Arrowhead, it's the loudest stadium in the world. It's a great experience. They're going to put a dome over it. Olathe is 30, 45 minutes from where Arrowhead is now. The dome's not going to be the same vibe. And I think you're going to lose that magic of what made Arrowhead special.
I also don't think you're gonna get people to travel there because that's gonna be Olathe's here. The Kansas City airport's way up here. That's a long little trek right there for them to go. It's a long way from to Kansas City, the stadium now to the airport.
God, the
Uh,
airport in Kansas City sucks anyway. It is in the middle of
it is.
nowhere.
It is, and it does. It is. I've flown out of there once, and I was like, I'm never doing this. And I think St. Louis sucks too. And you're just like, God, awful.
Hey, the Columbia Regional Airport's adding flights every day, man. We can fly into Denver now,
Nice.
Dallas, Chicago, Charlotte's on the list. Starting in June, they're doing flights to Orlando and Destin out of Columbia.
Out of Columbia? You're going to Destin, Florida? Okay, I'm in. I think we found our new destination.
80 bucks a flight one way from
Woo!
Como to Destin.
Hey now.
That's a day trip, brother.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, you can get some I get a day trip into Destin, Florida for 80 bucks. I'm gonna be in some trouble.
Way more than that at the ranch on
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
you damn right I did. I saw some
But how this
fun.
relates to the
Yeah.
Cardinals, Mayor Lucas in Kansas City says, "Hey, I'm going to do every resource we can to keep the Royals, and we're going to put them downtown." My brother and sister-in-law live in Kansas City. They're very art, kind of young, hip people. They are two adults with no kids. They got cats and a dog. They like to hang out, do things, and they're sports fans. They don't want the Royals downtown. They don't want to kill the art district down there. What makes it special? The Royals are most likely going to go to what's called the Legends area in Kansas City. That's where the Speedway is. That's kind of the trendier area right now to build all kinds of stuff. There's a really cool Cabela's out there. The soccer stadium is out that way. It's a great soccer facility. The Royals are probably going out there, leaving the state of Missouri with the Cardinals and the Blues, which, as we have talked about, Bill DeWitt III over there, in his home in Ohio, because he doesn't live in St. Louis, is looking at this deal the Royals are about to get, and the Chiefs just got. He's got the city of St. Louis and the state of Missouri bent over a barrel coming up in the next probably 2 years when he decides he wants a shiny new toy.
Yeah, and that stadium's that age, like we talked about earlier, where you can start wanting a new stadium and can use that as leverage, like we've talked in the podcast in the past. That stadium's falling apart. They've purchased stuff, land in East St. Louis area near the racetrack, Earth Cities where you've been thinking about. It's either been to you. They are they you if you have land in Illinois already and you know what you got, you have Missouri and St. Louis. Because what's going to happen? You're going to lose 81 games of tourist attraction money into that town.
Call it
Which
100 when you count concerts and all the other events.
yep. You're going to lose all of that revenue that helps that downtown, which downtown is dying anyway. It's not support. You're gonna lose a lot of people and cost a lot of jobs come out of St. Louis out of that way. And that's sad to see. And I think the almighty dollar has gotten too powerful and too what we idolize too much. Is kind of like you're sucking the fun out of everything now just for money.
Looking at the probable new Arrowhead, they're losing 10,000 seats from 75,000 to 65,000. But don't worry, Tyrell, there was more luxury suites.
That's what I was gonna
And
say. There's where you're gonna
the
make your
uh,
money.
the slap in the face to the the Chiefs fans is, hey, we're doing this for you. It's to uphold your fan experience. There's the
Yep.
words the ownership likes to use.
Yep.
Fan experience. It's going to be bad. It's going to be like every other cookie cutter stadium that's out there now.
Yeah, then the coolest one that they've got is that the Falcons and Mercedes Benz Dome. That's pretty legit. But you're the part of the fan experience is sitting out in the cold and being in there like it. I don't want to sit in a dome. I mean, maybe
That
once,
playoff
but
game when they played the Dolphins a few years ago is absolutely when it was like the beers were freezing as they were being poured, et cetera, et cetera. Just like that's football. That's an experience. Not how good it's 72 degrees, which is the NFL rule inside this dome.
yeah, no, and and you see a lot more injuries on turf on astroturf like that in the domes. You don't see it as much in grass. So I mean, yeah, the game's faster, and you're that's what it is. You just want faster football for more higher scores and more action.
I went
And I
I went to a couple games in the dome and the Rams were shit. Right when they started out in St. Louis in the mid '90s, and the dome was a dump then in
Mhm.
like 1995. How quick is it before Kansas City's dome becomes that? But I'm sure there's something in the contract that I missed about being in the top percent, et cetera, et cetera. But hey, as long as Clark Hunt's rich friends get to sit in comfort and Taylor Swift's, well, I'm a Taylor Swift fan, gets her box, that's really all that matters.
What's Travis and her's love name? That's the box it'll be called. I don't even know what they're. You know how they always have that
Yes.
stuff.
My daughter's flown around here. We'll ask her next time she runs it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's that's the way sports are going, man. They want to have the luxury boxes for the rich people to watch the games and screw the small fan.
And we've talked before, it is already unaffordable for a family to go to a ball game, and it just keeps getting worse. And now you're pricing fans out of TV with all the different streaming services you have to have. Remember when you could pay $80 a month on DirecTV and get 150 games a year, and then you have to watch the national games just on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, which I think that's on Peacock now. Which Peacock losing the WWE content January 1st, I'm done with Peacock. Like that was the only thing was on breaks, things like that. When it was nap time, dude, we're watching like Royal Rumble 1993 to fall asleep too. But I'm not interested in anything Peacock's got to offer.
No, I'm with you, brother. Same thing. I don't. That's the only reason we watch it right now is for WWE. There's no other reason to watch it. I mean, my Dan Patrick show's on there, but I can get that through Sirius XM. I don't need to watch those guys. It's a radio show.
Yeah.
So
The common man once again being wiped out of sports. Things that used to be for the common man now just for the lifestyles of the rich and famous. But we kind of look at what the season's going to look like. Tyrell, if you could give a gift to any Cardinal player, what would you give them? I'll give you an example. My gift will be Ivan Herrera, the gift of health. Give this guy 100. Give this guy 150 games. Let's see what he can do. I think he's a 280 hitter with 30 bombs if he plays 150.
it because okay, now I'm torn between two things. I want uh the evolution of Jordan Walker to happen. Like, can you become like Aaron Judge like we think you can be? Because you can be that guy if you put your mind to it. or I want to give the gift of no hole in your swing to Nolan Gorman.
Oh, please.
Right.
That would be. He's got 40. He's got 40 bomb power. If
Yes.
he could ever hit a ball.
Yeah. If he could finally just, because one of the first games he launched one, and I was like, that's my that guy. That's why I'm rooting for you. You have that just down the line bomb power, and then next thing you know, it's up and in, strikeout, 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 and you can't do it. I mean, ooh, and I love a left-handed power hitter. I'm a sucker for him.
But we made the joke about Arenado not hitting my weight. I'm not sure Gorman can hit 158 or even 200 at this point. The holes are just so terrible, and they have screwed his swing up. So I'm not sure it's fixable.
Yeah, yeah. It's and that's where one thing I want to go back to with the Heim trading all these guys, like, and I know you want to build up our farm system and everything, but like we've done pitching. Granted, we fell down a little bit of a rabbit hole where we didn't do as great, but our pitching has always kind of been developing. We've kind of got them there. We have not developed a bat in Matt Carpenter. Would be the last bat we developed, and before
8 years
that,
ago?
yeah. Do you argue before him it's Albert? So
Yeah, because Yachty was definitely more of a glove guy who became a hitter, but
so this organization has not been one to develop the hitter. Why aren't we bringing in some of these guys? And I know that's what everybody wants is the hitters, but we need some bats in this organization too, down in those minor leagues.
we did a whole show about it. They just completely lack a superstar. You need a superstar who can hit third in your lineup. It's what everybody's chasing, and what they clearly don't have. And there's not even a guy, even I think maybe on his best day, is JJ gonna be that 3-hitter superstar? He kind of projects to be that 2 or 5 guy who's gonna be a really good player. I'm not sure he's a superstar, at least
Yeah,
not yet.
I think he's your two hitter that is probably going to be probably a perennial all star with a good bat, with a good glove, hits 20, 25 dingers a year, and is just a solid guy. I don't know if he's going to be a superstar. Like I hope we get one, but like I don't know.
If he's Bobby Witt Jr., are you thrilled?
One of the best second baseman or shortstops in the league with his glove and can routinely come through with some hits. Yeah, I'd be thrilled with that.
But what if he's Brendan Donovan?
Man, we've had enough of those. We've got that's the St. Louis Cardinals are littered with that. I mean, the one that comes to mind right off my bat is Luis Alicea. Like
Mm.
he's one of those guys. Like Geronimo Pena. Those are the guys they've constantly had. Like we know those people. We know that David Eckstein's great. He did great. You're that nobody else. Like we've had them. So Bo Hart, those guys with heart and hustle. We've had them the whole time. Like we can get somebody else.
Those are great complementary pieces.
Yes.
When those guys were studs, were at their peak for the X9 teams that also had the MV3. Those scrappy guys look great when you've got 3 All-Stars in the middle of your lineup. Not when you're asking them to be him. That's all they have. Finally, I think my last gift, I'm going to give Lars Newbar a ticket out of town. His
Hey.
his time has come. We're moving everybody else. I'm afraid that they're going to look around like, we need to keep Lars because there's nobody else we can play. And he's a good-looking kid, big smile. He's probably who they're going to market. We're going to get that bullshit all year, especially because he's going to play in the World Baseball Classic again. Pictures of him and Otani. And so St. Louis is going to try to ride that train for another year.
It's not like he's going to get Otani to St. Louis. So I don't know why we want to. And I agree. Like, and I think it's. I said it 3 years ago when his value was highest. I was like, get rid of him. His value is never going to get higher. Get rid of him now. He's not what you think he is. And I've said that for so long. But I mean, yeah, I agree. We're going to get another year, probably another 2 years of him, and then he'll go off in free agency to the Wild
And
Blue
then flat
Yonder.
fucking rake somewhere else.
Yes, yes, yeah. With the fucking Dodgers, probably. He'll end up on
Yes.
the Dodgers and just be the ALC or NLCS friggin' MVP. And you're like, of course he is. Of course.
Tyrell, looking at 40 plus years old, have you ever got anything cool like sports or Cardinal related for Christmas over the years? Limit it to like two or three. I'll give you an
Now that you,
example where you're thinking. I'll give you an example where you're thinking.
yeah,
Um, Obviously, every year as a kid, got the new football game for the Sega, the PlayStation. That's always cool. Definitely getting some sports cards every year. Big sports collector guy. That's always been kind of fun. Jerseys were always big in middle school back in the day.
yeah. My two cool things that I've ever gotten was Ozzie Smith's rookie card. Got that, and then my starter jacket with the Cardinal logo on it. That's my other than that, like I got the yearbook every year. I got my starter figurines, like uh well, I was really big in the Mark McGuire stuff, so I got a ton of Mark McGuire stuff that year he hit 70. I got a bobblehead of him. I think it's the got it up. Oh my god, no, it's at my dad's house. So yeah, that's I was memorabilia stuff with for me, and the puffer jacket, which I still got. I've wore it one episode, little
Hey, speaking
small.
of those, are made a comeback, man.
Mm-hmm.
Even like high schools are starting to get them. You can get them on the internet now with your high school logo. And I'm back out in the market. I love my job where I'm at now, but I'm looking for head coaching jobs again. I've already decided wherever I'm going, the first thing I'm buying, we're getting starter jackets
Hell
for the
yeah,
whole squad, man. Like that's the goals. Those
that's
things
the
are
and
cool.
with
The
the
stuff
with
that we were
this.
wearing as kids is popular again. If Reebok comes out with pumps, I'm all over those baddies
Ho ho
again.
ho! Please, let's go, man.
I've never been into modern basketball, but I bought 2K for my PlayStation because I was bored. And they've got where you can, it's called My NBA. You can play through the whole 90s. So I've started a Bulls dynasty from like 1990. And basically, I'm playing with like BJ Armstrong, Bill Cartwright, and of course, Jordan Pippen. Just reliving those memories as a kid with modern technology. And it's pretty cool. That's kind of how I'm spending my holiday breaks. Staying up way too late playing video games like I'm 12.
Oh, dude, I mean, every time a new the show comes out, the first thing I get in there, I don't do anything but go to Home Run Derby and just start hitting bombs because I'm like, how's this play out? Because that's all I did when I was a kid, was just Home Run Derby. Let's go. Love those. So yeah, that's awesome.
You guys traveling for Christmas or are you sticking around the ranch?
Nah, man, we're sticking around the ranch. We got nothing going on. I went and got some prime rib roasts that I'm cutting some steaks.
Yes,
Do
sir.
that Christmas Day. The
We do
wife's
ours
say,
Christmas Eve. I get it.
yeah, tomorrow is Christmas Eve. I know. We went and saw Santa last weekend, so the kid got to see that. See him. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. We're gonna walk across there's the other side of the ranch has a lot of a whole neighborhood full of lights and stuff. So I'm gonna make myself a couple hot toddies and walk over there and look at some Christmas lights.
It's
Do a
gonna be
little
70 degrees in Columbia tomorrow.
golly, man.
Sam's wearing shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah, he coming in. I think we're at the 80s right now is what we're in. Like I've been wearing my Christmas sweaters all week, and by 11 o'clock, I'm like, let's take this off. I'm done.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, bro, it's gonna be 75 tomorrow and 74. So we're gonna be right there at the same temperature for Christmas.
Global warming's a myth, though.
Yeah, dude, that's what I was thinking. I was like, do you remember this? Like, how many Christmases we had that white growing up?
Most of them.
Yeah, I remember more of them that were not white than I do because it was a regularity to see a non-white
I
Christmas.
feel like every year it's getting warmer and warmer.
Yeah, somebody lives in the friggin' desert. I can tell you it is. 100 days of 100+ heat. Yeah, it can happen. 110+ heat. Yeah, so it's a myth
Well,
for sure, bro.
I think that's gonna wrap up our show for 2025. We thank those of you who have stuck through us. We're getting close, Tyrell. 2 months out until spring training. We'll probably pop on again sometime the first of the year when some news breaks. Do a little spring training stuff, and then we'll be back with the regular episodes. Normally, like the Christmas special, you bring the family out. My daughter's on the phone with her boyfriend. That's a whole episode in itself. My wife's in the shower, so my family's not coming on. Lord knows what yours is doing. So we're just gonna pretend like they were here, like that big moment that you get on the reality shows. Ah. But for the mouth of the West, Tyrell Mock, I am Mitchell Jenkins. This has been the holiday edition of the Mitch and Mock and About the Cards podcast. We will see you in 2026.